important is playing in tune, really? Well, one of the correlations that you'll find between great musicians is that the better the musician, the more they are in tune. You can always tell when someone doesn't tune often enough or they're not as in touch with it as they need to be because they habitually play out of tune and they don't know the difference. They're just used to it. So here are a couple of tips to help you get more in touch with the process. The first is to tune frequently. Of course, one of the first things I want people to understand is that you tune each and every time you pick up your guitar, and it's the first thing that you do. As you're playing, you want to be keeping in touch with, is your guitar in tune? Is it out of tune? If it's out of tune, what strings are it? Are they sharp? Are they flat? These are skills you want to develop over time. If that's new to you, then I would just set a timer on your phone for like 10 minutes, and whenever the timer goes off, just check your tuning. Just get used to doing that. You may find that things have moved around more than you thought, because most of us can hear a note out of tune like really abruptly, but when they move gradually over time, that's much harder to pinpoint. The second tip is experiment with tuning and develop it as a skill. Find ways of tuning and methods that you can rely on that give you confidence and security. I would ignore any stigmas along the lines of, well, you're not a real musician unless you tune this way or that way or by ear or whatever. So whether you use your ears or a tuner or whatever system you use, harmonics or unison notes, octaves, whatever the case is, find something that makes you feel like you know you're in tune and it's reliable and you can always fall back on that. I feel like my ears are kind of like the final decider about what's in tune or not, but all my guitars have tuners on them. This is because I like to fall back on them when I need to, just as like a security blanket, and I have no hesitation in using it. My number one priority with tuning is to be in tune. The third tip is just some tuning tweaks that you can do. Of course, we tune using the so-called tuning pegs. Unless you're going to spend a lot of money on these, they're kind of finicky, and that's okay. We just learn to work with it. So if your string is sharp, you can just give the string a little tugger. Sometimes tugging the string can flatten it just a bit to get you right in tune. Now, if you're flat and you need to come up, you just need a tiny tweak, and I saw the great Yamashita do this, and he does it like a lot. What he will do is he will depress the string on this side of the nut, right? And it raises the pitch just barely. My teacher said, the tuning process on stage is a process that calms you down. And when I started to consider that maybe that was the case, it changed my life.